this is Aliyah and welcome back to Cooking with Aliyah, the show that brings you the flavors of Morocco. My childhood friend Reem has an amazing chicken recipe. It's called Djaj Mqalli Mhammar. In Moroccan, Djaj means chicken, Mqalli means fried, and Mhammar means roasted. What we're going to do is take a whole chicken marinated in an amazing flavorful sauce. Then we're going to cook it with a little bit of olive oil and onion. That's the Mqalli part. Then we're going to broil it in the oven, and that's the Mhammar part. The recipe is amazing. The chicken comes out soft, juicy, flavorful, tasty, whatever you can imagine about the perfect chicken recipe. I'm salivating just thinking about it. The video is long, but that's not because the recipe is difficult. I wanted to make sure that every step is clear. There are a couple of things that you can skip. So the chicken is covered with caramelized onions. You can just skip the caramelized onions if this is too long for you, and just serve the chicken as is with bread, rice, or vegetables. The longest part is marinating the chicken. So if you can, prepare the chicken the night before, let it marinate overnight, and then serve it the next day. It's perfect. To get my written recipe, go to my website at cookingwithaliyah.com. Also, you can check me out on my Facebook. I'm very active on my Facebook page. And if you have an iPhone, don't forget to download my free iPhone app, Cooking with Aliyah. One more thing, if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming recipes, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's start! Here I have a 3.5 pounds chicken, which is around 1.5 kilos. And first I'm going to clean the chicken so we get rid of that chicken taste, aftertaste that you can get when you cook the chicken. Put it in warm water, then add 1/3 cup of fresh lemon juice. And then using salt, I'm going to rub the chicken. So gently rub the chicken, the skin, inside the skin here. And actually, it's true, when you massage the meat a little bit like this, it gets tender. So give it a good massage. Place the chicken in a sieve over a bowl and let it drain from the water, and in the meantime we're going to prepare the sharmoula. For the sharmoula, I'm going to use 1/4 preserved lemon. You can buy preserved lemon online if you're living outside of Morocco, and if you're living inside of Morocco, they're very popular. If you don't have preserved lemon, you can just replace it with 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and increase the salt, which I will talk about it later. So now I'm going to take the pulp of the lemon, see, I'm going to take the pulp and just basically cut it with the knife. Make sure it's in little pieces. For the spices, we need 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of saffron. And if you don't have saffron, you can omit it. But it really brings a different flavor. The saffron threads are just amazing. For the salt, I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of salt because I'm also using preserved lemon in my sharmoula, and preserved lemons are very salty. So if you are not using preserved lemon, only lemon juice, you can increase the salt. Place the spices in a bowl, add the preserved lemon pulp, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 garlic cloves crushed, and just a little bit of water. And that's it. Mix all the spices together. Now we're going to cover the chicken with the marinade. And we're going to spread it all over the chicken, like this. Also take some of the marinade and place it between the skin and the chicken here. Cover the bowl with a plastic wrap and place the chicken in the fridge for at least 1 hour. So it needs to marinate. If you can leave it overnight, it's even better. So the longer the chicken marinates, the softer it will become. Also, what we could do, which is really cool, is place the chicken in a plastic wrap and cover it very well. Then you can freeze it with the marinade. And when you're ready to cook it, you just bring it out from the freezer, thaw it, and then cook it. I let my chicken marinate overnight. So this way it absorbs all the spices. I removed the chicken from the bowl, and you see the sauce in here. Don't throw it. We're going to use it to cook the chicken, so keep it on the side for now. Now I'm going to show you how to toss a chicken. Basically how to put the legs together. This way the chicken is compact and it cooks evenly, like this. You can toss it with a thread, but I don't have a thread today. So all you have to do is look for the membrane here and put a hole. So see, I put a hole in the membrane. What I'm going to do is take the leg across the hole and insert it in the hole, like this. And then take the other leg and force insert it in the other leg, this way. See? It's like a yoga position. For the wings, I'm just going to use skewers. So you toss them on the back of the chicken, like this. And then I'm just going to fix them with a skewer. And that's it. So my wings are compact and my legs are compact. Tossing a chicken without a thread. Now we're going to cook the chicken. On medium heat, drizzle 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Add 1 small onion grated, 3 garlic cloves crushed. For the spices, we will need 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of salt, a small pinch of saffron, 1/4 teaspoon of ground turmeric, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. If you don't have saffron, don't worry about it. You can omit it. Also, put the sauce where the chicken marinated. Mix and cook the onion on medium heat for around 3 minutes. After a few minutes of cooking the onions, we're going to add the chicken. So add the chicken like this and cook it for 5 minutes on each side. After 5 minutes, carefully turn the chicken to the other side. Now cook this side for another 5 minutes. This is the mqalli step, which basically we're frying the chicken a little bit with the olive oil and the onions. Now I'm going to turn the chicken on its breast because the breast takes longer to cook than the back. Add a bunch of fresh cilantro. Then add cold water until you cover half of the chicken. Cover your pan and cook the chicken on medium heat for around 20 minutes on this side. Then we'll turn it around and cook it on the other side. Check on the water level from time to time. There should always be a level of water for the chicken to cook. While the chicken is cooking, in a separate saucepan we're going to prepare an onion sauce, which is basically like caramelized onions, but it's not sweet. Add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Add 3 large onions, grated. For the spices, we're using the same spices as the chicken. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. What I'm going to do here is take around half a cup of the chicken sauce and add it to the onions, because it has all the flavors of the chicken. As you can see, we have enough liquid here to cook the onions. We don't need much because the onions will release their own liquid. And cook the onions on low heat while the chicken is cooking until they become thick and caramelized, and you get this really soft and smooth sauce. From time to time, check on the liquid just to make sure that they're not dry so they don't burn. After 20 minutes of cooking the chicken in one side, we're going to flip it and cook it on the other side. I actually didn't have to add water to the chicken, so the 1 cup we added was more than enough. So we'll cook this side for another 20 minutes. Check on the onions and stir from time to time. If you had chicken liver, you can actually cut the chicken liver in small pieces and add it to the onions. Here I have 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're going to mix them, and then we're going to brush the chicken with this mixture before baking it. It will give it a beautiful color and also flavor. My chicken is ready. It took me around 45 minutes to cook it, but I also marinated it overnight. So the time of cooking may depend on how long you marinate it, because it gets softer as we marinate it. Now put the chicken on a baking pan and put the chicken breast on top and brush it all over with a little bit of the mustard mixture we made. Now we're going to broil the chicken. As for the sauce with the chicken cooked, we're going to remove the cilantro from the sauce. I've increased the heat to medium-high and cooked the sauce for the past 10 minutes uncovered so that the liquids evaporate and the sauce thickens. The onions are still cooking on low heat. It's been 45 minutes, and taste them. That's when you realize if they're ready. They will not have a raw onion taste, and they will have this very smooth and velvety taste of caramelized onions. So it will take around 45 to 50 minutes on low heat for the onions to caramelize. My chicken is ready. Now I'm going to plate it and cover it with the thick sauce. Then I'm going to top it with the caramelized onions. Serve the chicken immediately with Moroccan bread or crusty French bread. Bon appétit!